Hey guys, Max here. Let's go over 10 ways, 10 things I have stopped buying and have zero regrets. There are a ton of things that you and I both buy that are completely unnecessary. But here are 10 that you can cut out of your budget today and feel no regrets. Let's go. All right, first thing is anything luxurious or with a logo. I read this book that's called Deluxe, How Luxury Lost Its Luster. It talks all about how all these luxury goods, handbags, just leather goods, anything in general that you can grab that has a logo, it's all manufactured in these third world countries in terrible conditions, first off. And second off, the quality isn't there. So the reality is you're actually only paying for this logo, this name. The quality's not there. So my question would be, why are you spending money on logos? And I would ask you, does Mercedes-Benz make a better car than the Toyota? Does Apple make a better smartphone than any of the smaller companies? Or are you just wanting an Apple iPhone or a MacBook to show and flaunt your wealth? That's what you ask yourself. Is it ego-driven or is it necessity-driven? Because the reality is a lot of this is ego-driven. So look yourself in the mirror and think, am I buying this because I want to impress other people or because I actually need it? That's a really good question to ask yourself before any purchase. Second is restaurants. Does that $15 to $20 meal really make you that much happier about life? Can you not make it at home? The reality is I can make almost everything at restaurants at home. I haven't quite perfected sushi yet, but pretty much everything I buy at a restaurant, everything that comes from a restaurant, I can make at home cheaper, better quality, and it always tastes better when it comes from these two hands. So are restaurants really worth it? I think not. And I know the person who made it washed their hands before, and that's a big deal to me being a germaphobe. Number 3, all subscriptions I don't use. Those things are so sneaky. There's a 7-day trial, a 1-month trial. You put your credit card in, and next thing you know, you're being charged over and over again. And if you don't have a very, very strict accounting over your budget, these things are going to fall through the cracks. I only have 4 now. Spotify, the gym, my VPN, and Audible. I actually just gave up Audible making this video because I realized I haven't used it very often, so I gifted all my Audible titles. And the question I ask myself is, do I really need these things that waste my time? Netflix, Hulu, all these time wasters. Or should I be spending it on doing something else? The question I've answered myself is, I don't need these time wasters. They cost me money and take my time. My time is very, very valuable, and I try to do my best to allocate it correctly. And spending a bunch of time watching TV, and that's a question I ask for every purchase or everything. Is this going to take time away from things I really should be focusing on? Things I want to be focusing on? Video games, TV, recreation is all good thing in the right timing. The thing is now, recreation has become the norm and work has become the secondary. I want to flip that around. Work be the primary. Recreation, it actually is sweeter when you only have a little bit of it. Just like candy. If you ate candy for every single meal, it would taste absolutely terrible. If you have a little bit though, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of sweetness, it's always good. So a little bit of recreation and a lot of work. Let's go. Number 4 is any coffee or alcohol. You can make the coffee at home for about $1. When you go to that beautiful green place that everyone goes to buy their coffee, or luxury beverages I call them, you do that $3 or $4 or $5. I've seen these $6 or $7 drinks. It's cuckoo. You do that every weekday before work for a whole entire year, it's literally $1,000. Is that $1,000 well spent on coffee that's literally gone out of your colon within a day or so? My answer is no. And then same story with alcohol. Alcohol is an absolute time and money sucker. How much is a shot of alcohol at the bar? I don't know, but last time I checked, it's not cheap, and it's not good for your health. So strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, no more. This one is so sneaky. Number 5, organic food. What is really organic? I don't know, but I don't believe there's almost any difference at all. Whenever I see these organic packaging and it's literally twice as expensive as the non-organic, again, I do not believe that it's actually that much different. I've tasted the difference between organic versus non-organic. I don't know about this one though. New clothing and new shoes. I was definitely a fashionista. What's the guy version? Anyway, I bought clothing, shoes, jackets, way more than I could ever wear in, seriously, probably a 3-week span. And I looked at my closet and think, do I have enough clothing to wear for a whole week? If the answer is yes, then I need to eliminate that, because the reality is this. The more time I spend on thinking about what I'm going to wear for the morning, the more energy is being depleted from me. I want to spend that energy on other things. So recently, I went through a whole entire closet, all my clothes, threw out everything besides, seriously, probably about a week's worth of clothing. And I have an assembly line, so This jacket that I wore today is going to go at the back of the assembly line. The one that's next in line, I wear tomorrow no matter what. I don't think about it. I don't think about, what about this color, this color? I just pick it. Take that emotional and that mental energy and expend it on something you want to do. And I promise you, your pocketbook will definitely help you, because shoes and clothing can become very addicting very quickly. Next thing you know, you have 30 pairs of shoes like I did. Nobody needs 30 pairs of shoes. A few are just fine. Number 7 is an expensive gym membership. I remember going to the Eucalyptus steam room thinking I was so bougie with my 2 towels, my Coach gym bag. And guess who was actually caring about all that besides me? The answer, no one. Nobody else cared about that besides me. I don't need the Eucalyptus. I laugh about it now because it's so ridiculous. That was $100 a month for that gym. I now spend $10 a month at some budget gym. That $1,000 a month I can now spend on something I really like. More silver. Number 8 is a new car. Thankfully, I've never fallen into this trap, but I know many people do. That $500 a month payment, plus insurance, plus registration, plus all the other junk you have to do, plus the maintenance. There's so many things it takes to actually own a vehicle. I wish I could have no vehicle, but I live kind of in the suburbs and I need one. The fact of the matter is, my $0 a month old beat up truck doesn't drive any differently than the fancy car. Now, it may have, less features, and it may not be as cool looking, but $0 a month compared to $500 a month, and $500 a month is actually more of a normal payment now. It's usually even higher than that. But that's $6,000 a year you're paying on just a payment on a vehicle. Imagine if you had an extra $6,000 a month. What would you do with it? Me? A lot of things. Number 9 is sale items. The fear of missing out, the FOMO that you feel, I promise you it will subside. The sales, though, that they have these sales. If you go into a store, the next week it's the exact same sale, just different wording. It's 40% off, then it's 35% off, then it's 20% off. They aren't actually sales. They're just magnets in order to get you in the store or get you on the site to pay money to them, which is not a bad thing. I'm by all means, if you can make a sale, if you can make a sale on your website and have people come, great. I just know and have figured out that sale is actually something that happens once a week. The fear of missing out that you feel, it will go away, and you will feel even better that you didn't make the purchase. So think about it. Do not do something impulsively, because that's when we make bad decisions. And then number 10 is new books. I have been on a book kick recently, but I'm buying almost all of them used and secondhand. Why? Because the person who highlighted and made notes last time usually has some pretty good things to say. No, because the reality is most of these books cost 10, 15, 20 bucks. You can buy a lot of books on Amazon, on any site really, eBay for that matter, for between $2 and $5 plus shipping. So it's like $10 for a book that usually costs $20 plus shipping. So that's 50% savings. I like that. I like physical books. I like having the real paper. New books though, compared to the used books, I definitely choose the used. All right, those are my 10. I've given them up. There is some fear of, not some fear, but regret sometimes when I think about these things. But then I look at my closet and see there's less clothing, less options, less of my energy is being put towards these things. Those are my 10. I want you guys to comment below. What things have you given up for your budget that you are proud about? Comment now. Make sure to subscribe and like the channel, and I will catch you guys on the next one.